The fourth railway package is meant to modernize and better harmonize Europe's fragmented railway system. Since 2001, when the goal of a single European railway area was first formally established, cutting back national railway authorities' power while improving cross-border competition and thus better conditions for investment have been key aims. Aims which have proved to be very ambitious indeed. Much as the single European sky has been about an ongoing battle between the overarching interests of the Union and the more special interests of the member states, so too has been the quest for a so-called single European rail area. Transport by rail is efficient and climate-friendly, but currently it only carries about 10% of European cargo and 6% of passengers each year. Belgian MEP Mathieu Grosch, who is the EPP Group coordinator for the fourth railway package, drew an analogy with buying a car.
When you put a car today on the market in Europe, it can drive the day after all through Europe. When you put a new vehicle on the rail tomorrow, they need about 2 years to have a certification in each country, and for each country is cost around 2 million euros. So this makes the rail so expensive and so slow.
The freight sector, meanwhile, measured in tons per kilometer, contracted about 5% last year, in line with the economic downturn. The recession was expected to drive further losses in 2013. Grosch said thus greater efficiency is key.
What we try to introduce as Parliament, and even add it to the proposal of the Commission, is to say we want contracts with efficiency targets tomorrow. And we speak now about the number of passengers to reach in the next years, the punctuality, because this is very important, I think, the quality of the rolling stock. And I think these aspects are for us even more important than just open the market and say that competition will solve it.
Meanwhile, railway infrastructure investment has been boosted by the EU over the past 20 years and recently received a Commission pledge of €1 billion in research and innovation to get more passengers and freight onto Europe's railways. Libor Lachman is Executive Director of the European Community of Railway and Infrastructure Companies. He says the situation is improving for rail, but there is still a ways to go.
We have been much less satisfied with the radical, let's say, imposition of the change of the governance structure of the railways, because we believe that we have to be a bit more cautious since we have to operate the rail system in entirety.
Lachman, speaking on behalf of Europe's 32 main railway and rail infrastructure managing bodies, agreed that overcoming the technical issues would make a Schengen on rails possible. But
we should definitely aim at having something like no borders for the trains across the European railway network. But this will require massive investments into the railways, because historically, for the last 150 years, the railways have developed within the borders of the states. So to overcome that, we have to involve especially the interoperable constituents, the components that would enable us to operate the trains across the border.
Mathieu Grosch was also concerned that technical differences particular to railways could still hinder the development of a single market.
You don't even have it in airplanes. We have Airbus because we had a European approach between all the techniques in the different countries. You have it for the cars, you have it for the lorries, and you have it even for the ships. So I think this new approach is to make out of 27 rail markets one European rail market.
Incentives designed to minimize disruption and improve performance on the network are also part of the package. This is to be managed by the European Railways Agency. A last key element is management independence for railway transport in the member states and better long-term planning for financing infrastructure to be completed by December of 2014. This is ultimately about creating new jobs and a more efficient public service responsive to the needs of passengers and freight operators alike. For the European rail industry recovery to get back on track, all member states need to be on board and not miss their connection to a more efficient continent-wide system. Find out more about the activities of Parliament's largest political force by going to eppgroup.eu. Thanks for looking in, and see you again soon.